Hello everybody, Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelorette Recap, a guy's review. As you all know, we've been following this Colton Underwood coming out of the closet story. And in most worlds, it shouldn't be news to come out of the closet. We should all embrace everyone for living their authentic selves. But in this specific story, we know that Colton was stalking and harassing his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Randolph, earlier this year. She filed temporary restraining order, eventually dropped the charges, and it begs the question, did she drop the charges because she knew what Colton was dealing with? The quick answer to that is no. As we find out in this video, Cassie was blindsided by the news that Colton was gay and coming out of the closet, and she didn't even know he was about to give that Good Morning America interview. So let's jump right into it. First things first, I'm going to play the third part of this drawn-out interview, which was aired on Nightline last night. Robin Roberts, who came out herself in, I believe, 2013 on a Facebook post to the entertainment world, at least. She conducted the interview with Colton Underwood, which focused on the self-harm he wanted to do because he wasn't living his authentic self. It did not talk at all about the terrorizing he did, the manipulating he did, sort of psychotic behavior that he did by creating a fake phone number and harassing himself and Cassie to be like, look, I'm being harassed too. Wild stuff, folks. Colton addresses it very vaguely by saying he was struggling to live in his straight identity. You'll hear what he has to say. Let's play the rest of this. They don't give us much extra. I was hoping on the Nightline interview they would open up about certain topics that might be too sensitive for that 7 a.m. audience. So strange, mainstream media. So strange. Because on one hand, I want to respect ABC for being very centrist, if not left-leaning centrist, media company. On the other, they own The Bachelor, or at least they contract The Bachelor to produce TV shows for their channel, which pays their bills, and The Bachelor is one of the biggest shows that they have. They're owned by Disney. So here we have the Disney Corporation not asking questions about Colton Underwood stalking and harassing his ex-girlfriend because they're all feeding off the same bank account here. Sickening. It's only 2 extra minutes. Let's play it. Some of this might sound familiar because it's a little redundant.
The Bachelor admits he hurt people along the way, specifically his now ex-girlfriend, Cassie Randolph, who he famously jumped over a fence for on the show.
He's an athlete.
Colton! Open the fence, guys.
That was in like Portugal, by the way, somewhere.
Were you in love with Cassie?
Yes. I mean, and that only made it harder and more confusing for me. I would just say that I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart. I wish that I would have been courageous enough to fix myself before I broke anybody else.
Next question by Robin Roberts should be, sorry for what, Colton? You were just trying to live your true identity. And then Colton would say, oh, for stalking and harassing my ex and putting a tracking device under the hood of her car. That's the conversation that would happen if money wasn't involved, if this wasn't a biased, agenda-driven interview.
Their volatile relationship ended last year, Cassie filing and then dropping a restraining order against him.
Robin, why did she file the restraining order? You know, isn't journalism all about asking why? How come some couch potato with a public school business degree has to ask these questions? Why is nobody talking this? Anybody who's getting their checks from some community close to The Bachelor is not talking about this. You're only seeing the fringe people talk about it, the people that are no longer under contract, the people that aren't trying to bite the hand that feeds. Disgraceful. Prove me wrong, please.
Have you talked to her at all about this?
I don't know if I ever will get the chance to sit down and talk with her.
Because you terrorized her.
I would like to. I would like to say sorry for how things ended.
How did things end?
Up. I made a lot of bad choices.
Like
I
what?
made mistakes in the end of that relationship, and I ruined the good memories we had by my actions and what I did.
What did you
to
do?
Hold on to being straight.
So, and again, look, I'm all about coming out of the closet. I'm the type I'm not going to cheer you at the finish line. I'm the guy handing out the waters in the 7-mile mark. I'm here to root everybody on who's trying to find their true identity, that doesn't think that there's a way out, that doesn't see hope. There is hope for you. The world's not paying that close attention to you. Do you, boo, do you. With Colton's scenario, him doing him, completely created some just like path of destruction. Unfortunately, Cassie Randolph wasn't even warned that this conversation was going to happen. I went into this yesterday saying, hey, let's see what they have to say. At least it's on some like show, channel like ABC. Let's see if they're going to come to some sort of thing here, because you can't recover from your sins. And people have told me that I'm stalking Colton by making these videos. But for every video that I watch where he doesn't go line item auditing his text messages as a stalker, his text messages to her brother, to her family, to her best friends. If we don't cover that, if we don't cover what it felt like to be looking for duct tape while you were fixing a tracking device onto her car, if this isn't covered, to hell with the rest of it. You don't get to pass go and collect 200 until you address the torment you caused others, regardless of the reasons why. Even murderers and psychopaths have a sob story. Yeah, you were beaten as a kid, you murdered your kitten. Yeah, everyone's got a sob story. The point is, when are you don't seek vindication and making it right if you don't atone for what you actually did.
Because I didn't want to look myself in the mirror. So for that, I'm extremely, extremely sorry.
Now, unburdened by his secret, Colton is taking his new life day by day.
I still haven't had like an emotional connection with a man. I've never allowed myself to, and
All right, they
I
already
want
shared
to
this
more
part.
than anything. And I'm still looking to be a dad. I never knew you could be gay and a dad, and I found that out this year as well. And I found a lot of things out.
So what's next for you, Colton?
What?
Life. I mean, I get to breathe. I get to take all this weight off my back and my shoulders, and I get to publicly and outwardly be happy and be me, all of me.
And every time that there's an article with his name in it and Cassie's scrolling through her Instagram and sees it, it's going to take her back to the place where at 3 a.m. her brother alerted her that Colton Underwood was in the alley of their parents' house, maybe looking through the window to see if she's there with another ex.
Our thanks to Robin. If you or someone you know might be struggling with thoughts of self-harm, you are not alone. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is all...
Now, I think this is great. Share the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 1-800-273-8255. Life always gets better. Okay, folks, it always gets better. Life is meant to be difficult. We're meant to be thrown challenges that seem insurmountable. Just know it gets better, and people are there to help you along your journey. What they didn't include here, and I have to look for this right here. Is this the page? Nope, that's not. This is it. What they didn't include is the National Domestic Violence Hotline. 1-800-799-SAFE. 1-800-799-7233. And as we know, there's stories of women that have had to call 911 and pretend to order a pizza. This one was from 2014. Actually, this one was from years earlier. 911, what's your emergency? 123 Main Street. Okay, what's going on there? I'd like to order a pizza for delivery. Ma'am, you've reached 911. Yeah, I know. Can I have a large with half pepperoni, half mushroom and peppers? I'm sorry. You know you've called 911, right? Yeah, do you know how long it will be? Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency? Yes, I do. And you can't talk about it because there's someone in the room with you? Yes, that's correct. Do you know how long it will be? I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house? Nope. Can you stay on the phone with me? Nope. See you soon. Thanks. Cassie Randolph is still processing ex-Colton Underwood coming out as gay. She was not made aware. She was not made aware in advance that he was going to be on GMA doing a tell-all. To be honest, she hasn't really had time to navigate how she feels about it yet. It's not just about Cassie Randolph, guys. It's about accountability in the morals in which we surround ourselves with regards to holding media accountable, to asking the right questions, especially media when it doesn't benefit their bottom line to ask those questions. Yeah, maybe it makes it, a former Bachelor look like a stalker. Well, he was. And that happened. So you hold him accountable. And you keep on holding him accountable. Petition was created. I'd rather watch the the documentary than not. I'm not going to sign the petition, but it's here if you guys want to. I'm willing to keep listening and sort of providing whatever friction until he decides to have that tough conversation. Maybe it comes next week, but until it does, it's just past due. It's past due. Today it was announced that Colton Underwood would be the focus of a Netflix documentary about being an out gay man. On GMA, he came out as gay and held an interview regarding his sexuality. Colton is a former Bachelor lead who stalked his final pick, Cassie Randolph. He placed a tracker on her car, sent her and her friends anonymous threatening texts, and was even seen standing outside her window extremely late at night. He sent himself anonymous texts too. That's next level psychopathy. It resulted in her brother attempting to de-escalate the situation. Cassie is a victim of Colton's abuse, and he does not deserve a platform in any way. Regardless of his sexuality, Colton should not be given a platform as a result of his abusive, manipulative, and dangerous behavior. This is where it gets dangerous, folks, because, and I know I'm just redundant and I'm railing on these issues. There's a fly on my keyboard here. This is where it gets dangerous because we need to separate the two things. It's good he came out. We should all wish him the best. But he hasn't addressed what he's done. Colton said, "Love you, love this now, and now I love being gay." This was in response to the Billy Eichner clip where Billy called him out for being gay years ago. Billy says, "Happy for you. See you at the club, Colton." Mike Johnson, one of the rare voices in Bachelor Nation that seems to be on the right side of so many issues, says, "I feel for Cassie. Happy for Colton." Clay said, "Proud of my guy Colton for speaking his truth." Nicole Lopez Alvar said, "I'm so happy for you, Colton." So we're just looking for people to, Tayshia. Come on, Tayshia. I know. Look, I get it. Tayshia showed us on her last season as Bachelorette. She's not comfortable putting herself into controversial situations. Just know when you're cashing your check as co-host of The Bachelorette, June 7th, 2021, what Colton did and what we're not talking about with our large platforms. At Colton, I am so proud of you for finally being able to share and live your truth, sending you love and support. Come on, Tayshia. We love you, Tayshia. Come on now. Colton Underwood spotted filming DOCUSERIES in New York City before coming out. Yeah, look, I'm not going to tell anybody how to feel, but it's kind of interesting. He was walking into Stonewall alone, but they were clearly filming. If you're not familiar with Stonewall in New York City, it is one of the pivotal moments of the fight for equality in one of the most mainstream at the time capitals for gay culture. For Colton to just walk in there on his docuseries, which he will be profiting off of in one way or another by it being a gigantic platform, it just sits wrong with me right now, guys. It sits wrong with me that he's having this welcoming party and Cassie is not being addressed. All he has to do, bare minimum, is apologize line item by line item for everything that he did. He could do that in an Instagram TV video. He could do it on 60 Minutes. I don't really care where he does it. I would prefer to do it the way Rachel Kirkconnell did it, which is an unedited video straight to camera, specifically addressing all of the things you are sorry for. Maybe then we can watch you co-opting, the death and suffering that so many people went through at Stonewall and across the world that you didn't have to sort of pave the path for. Here's Demi. Let's go back and catch the beginning of Demi. We know she came out as bisexual.
Obviously support Cassie so much. I did many interviews today. Still I'm about to do one in here in like 24 minutes. But you will see what I have to say publicly about this entire situation.
We wait.
And you know damn well I got my girl's back.
Good.
So don't come at me with that shit. I would never. She is my girl.
Nice eyebrows. Carol said, "Congrats to Colton Underwood, but also what? You apply and compete with other men to go on a TV show looking for love, and you think you might be gay. What about processing that without involving TV crews and 25 girls? It's a great day for gay men. Bad day for young women. #Bachelor. I side with Colton on the side of that he was so far into denial that he thought this would be something he could do to make him straight. Very selfish way of thinking, but it's a selfish issue. It's about the self. It's about the identity. So of course you're going to act selfishly. So I actually don't hold Colton accountable for leading all these other people along when we know he was also leading himself on. Executive producers offered a statement about Colton's journey and, wish him well. We already shared that. Cassie Randolph still processing ex-Colton Underwood. She was not made aware. We got that. Page 6, Bachelor fans demand a gay season after Colton Underwood's coming out. A lot of people ask this question. With regards to Colton Underwood on the show's hard enough for people that are very secure with what they want in life. The show's hard enough, and that's not a straight or gay thing. The show's hard enough because of all the pressure it puts on you to find love, to sort of create love in a chemical lab. This is a chemically made diamond. Looking at you, Neal Lane, all right? This isn't finding love at a bus stop on 33rd and 3rd Street. That's where my fiance and I met. Or first laid eyes. I go, who's that girl with the eyebrows? We were on the way to a job together. Years later, we fell in love, and we're getting married. But as far as like this chemical creation of love on the show, that's what it is. It's Hitch. We're going to set you up. We're going to get champagne going. But, that's hard enough for people that know what they want. For someone like Colton, I can only imagine you're years away from, and I don't think he wants this, but like, let's find about 1,000 people that could be our first gay bachelor before Colton Underwood, okay? Let's leave a comment if you have a good one in there. But boy, the way that would be a fun group date, wouldn't it? Just a bunch of, I would love watching that, you reject someone, instead of like sending them home, they just go back to the apartment of one of the other guys. Like, yeah, I'm not leaving yet. All right. Love it. It's embarrassing that you were commenting about, okay, so this is, people, the BachelorNation.scoop was getting some hate for sharing her opinion. And it's like, everyone deserves their opinion on this matter. And when it comes to critically thinking, it's about really looking at all the different angles, really looking at it all and going, what is just? What is right? It's not about being the moral police and looking down on people. I can imagine it's incredibly hard what Colton has had to do. But with all the as brave as it must be for him to come out of the closet and do it in this fashion, continue that brave feeling and talk about stalking and manipulating your ex-girlfriend. Go for it, Colton. We're all ears. We're ready to listen. Did we cover everything? So, yeah, we got the petition to cancel Colton Net. We got that one. I think we got it all. Here's my better half regarding Colton Underwood's interview on AMC, Good Morning America, or ABC, Good Morning America. Are we all expected to ignore that he stalked, harassed, and terrorized a woman? Where's the accountability? This needs to be addressed, pushed. Lazy, biased reporting at Robin Roberts. Do better. This is not journalism. It's true. It's not journalism. A journalist is there to uncover all the truth. Happy for Colton and that he finally feels free to live his truth. But honestly, I'm really grossed out that ABC is giving him this platform without addressing the elephant in the room. 1 in 4 women will experience intimate partner violence in their lifetimes, including stalking. We're all being re-traumatized watching a golden boy being celebrated on national TV without being held accountable for his truly horrifying actions. He has not properly owned up to or apologized for the harm he caused Cassie and is not deserving of a redemption story until he acknowledges his mistakes. ABC should not be glossing over domestic violence. Women deserve better. Couldn't have said it better myself, Tasha. And they say, the most dangerous person in your life is probably someone you have a higher chance of being killed by or injured by your boyfriend or husband than you do a stranger. So while we should be afraid of or keep our guard up if we're walking home late at night, the real victims that are out there, they're the people that are calling 911, ordering a pizza, because their biggest nightmare is standing right next to them. For Cassie's sake, and for all those out there that haven't been heard, that stories don't matter because they don't have proof or they're not a celebrity, all I can say is we're going to continue talking about these types of issues. To the people that think I'm stalking Colton, please don't conflate stalking with accountability. I am there at the finish line holding up a banner for Colton Underwood after he tells this story, after he uses his platform to talk about how he got to where he was. Use whatever excuse you want in the book. Talk about toxic masculinity within football. Talk about all the ways you were seeking perfection. Talk about codependency, toxic love, bring in the Catholic Church. I don't care what you do. Speak your truth. Don't hide from it any longer, Colton Underwood. You want to be free and truly release the burden off of your shoulders? Unlock the shackles. You have the key now. The conversation is yours. All right, guys. Next video will be your voicemails. I've got a ton of them, and we'll be getting to your thoughts. Bye, everybody.